There he is. There's the man. Adam West. Put him over here. All right. What's going on, everyone? Good guest tonight. Good guest. Keeping it local. Think global. Interview local. Hey, Project, can you hear my fan going in the background at all? It's way too hot to not have this AC blowing. And it's one of these nights. So I'll get you guys here for a couple minutes. There he is. There's the main man. J-Bone. J-Bone. Josh, you in a position to come in for a second? Let's see here. Getting ready, guys. Always come in a couple minutes early, get everything set up, check connections, check hardware, take notes, bullshit with everybody. I'm rocking this Terrifier shirt tonight. Love this guy. Hey, there he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
How's it go?
It goes. It goes. What's going on over your way?
Well, one of the dogs is kind of, I don't know what's going on with him. He's not moving.
So that was Josh, everyone. We're going to go ahead and move on.
Guard work today?
Next time, tell me no, and then don't come on. That'd be better for the vibe in the room if you just text me about that.
I
We'll
giving the dogs hemp medicine, and it might just be kicking in a lot.
Okay.
More than I.
This is what happens when I try this idea where if I see one of my friends online watching before our guest comes on, that I just bring him in and bullshit. And we hear about dogs, unresponsive dogs. Well, this has been great. Now I get to learn how to kick you out of this.
All right, let's do it.
How do
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, get out of here. Because now it's messing up the color too. Beat it. There we go. All right. That was Josh, everyone. Hope his dog feels better. Jesus, Josh. Anyway, you'll rarely see this, but it's one of these nights. Whole lot of stuff didn't go right today, and it seems like Josh is having the same shit. Yeah, Josh, you're gone. And that's what I get for trying something new on the fly. Like I said, I try to come on here and get some people in and hanging out until guests come in, and we failed today as a group. You know, we failed together, and we have to learn from it and move on. All the best goes out to Josh's dog. Oh, Josh. Just the energy's out of the room. Anyway, I'm going to show this picture. It's actually really big. I wonder if I have to just get up and get out of the way. In the movie Freddy Got Fingered, he goes into an executive's office to pitch Zebras in America. And in the background, in one scene, it took forever for me to get a pause in the right moment. There is a bitchin' big-ass painting of the devil drinking a martini. And I asked a lot of people, and I have a friend that knows Tom Green. We asked Tom Green. No one knows where this came from. A lot of people think it's this guy. So far, I haven't seen Haven't got confirmation. So I wonder if this is going to work. Let's see. I had to redraw it and print it for my house. But this, and there's a flaming martini. It's so early thousands, and I love it. But I had to redraw it. I had to have it. But I would love if anyone knows. If anyone knows who did that or other works, anything like that, please let me know. Yeah, it is dope, man. And I asked a lot of people. I searched for a long time, but it fits that era, man. It fits the martinis, the devil, even like the reds, the burgundies, mixed with like there's like the blue and the silver, all that early 2000s stuff, man. I loved it, and I've been not even close. Well, I think I saw a guy join, so let's just get rolling. Give me 1 second. So I think this should be it. Hey,
Dude,
what's happening?
how you doing, man?
What a weird day. Let me fix this a little bit. Weird day. I think I saw you come in time. I try to get on early. I try to give people some time so they're not coming in like right now or missing things you have to say. And we just tried to have my buddy on to shoot the shit for 5 minutes, maybe talk about painting or art or artists, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was my dog's sick, and it just
Sorry to hear that.
just blows up. And then I tried being an electrician today, and it didn't work. So I rarely do this on camera, but today's one of those days where it's an old-fashioned day, man. It really is.
What were you working on?
House stuff. It's always something with the house. Always house
I've
stuff.
electrocuted myself installing like an exhaust fan above an oven before, so I've been there.
And as an ex-contractor, I should be really embarrassed that I'm still the worst electrician around. Anything with wood or metal or paint, and I'm a sign and vinyl guy, any of that stuff,
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. You tell me to put a fan in, a $60 fan, and there's just this thing of wires sticking out of this old house, and I give up. I quit.
Sometimes
Anyway.
it's better to start again the next day.
Yeah. Actually, it's going to be call someone. I'm going to try that approach.
Yeah.
Call someone else to do it. I give up.
Yeah.
So please tell everyone who you are, man.
What's up, everyone? I'm Jeremy Michael Raymer, artist and muralist here in Pittsburgh about the last decade or so.
Dude, I remember seeing, I don't want to get too into the works because we'll do that in a minute, but
Sure.
it took me a minute, since a lot of your stuff's in a drive-by situation, to notice how many you actually have here. Because I'm in Pittsburgh as well. How many like Clementi's obvious, and then like Magneto, but then like little things are probably like, holy shit, this is his name again and again and again. And I'm like, yeah. And man, I couldn't do what you do to save my life. If it had a mouse and a keyboard, I could recreate your stuff. I could draw your stuff on a computer, but no, I couldn't. Man, the spray paint alone. I remember thinking we could all tag when we were kids and our friends' old garages. I'm like, no, I couldn't possibly. So did I read on your webpage that you come from an engineering background?
Yeah, I went to University of Pittsburgh. I went for biomechanical engineering. I did that for a minute. I've been a few different kinds of engineering. Then I went back for electrical engineering also, and I worked for a contracting company here in Pittsburgh for a bit doing IT, low voltage work.
What happened as the segue? Like, what made you switch from? Because it feels like polar opposites.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to an extent. So after college, I moved out to San Francisco. I lived in a small town, Bolinas, for a minute, and for whatever reason, like, I took some paints out there with me, and that's kind of really where I started painting consistently, like 2005, August, September, and I went out there for work, got a job. I was a forensic biomechanical engineer, definitely enjoyed it, kind of burnt me out after a bit though, and then transitioned to another job in 2008. I was working for Chevron at their research and design center doing like sulfur and nitrogen removal from different fuels. Would build mini refineries there, and then I ended up getting a job offer back in Pittsburgh, and I was a contract employee out there and just didn't have the same job security, so I left. But I ended up getting a job offer out there 3 weeks later, and it was just kind of too late. I gave up my apartment and stuff. So moved back here and kind of continued on at that point. Was doing small scale stuff, oil portraits, primarily on canvas, a little bit of acrylic, but I learned oils in college. That was kind of like the lone painting class I took and kept with it. And then some point 2013, I was visiting family, my sister down in Florida, and we went to Wynwood Walls, and I saw murals and was kind of blown away. And there's not no one was super active here, I guess you could say. There's a lot of blank canvases, and
Right.
I just figured I came back, bought some Montana Gold, and kind of went to work. It took me about 2 years to learn how to spray proper, and it just kind of propagated from there. And then just celebrated 7 years full-time art. I resigned from Westinghouse 2016.
Nice.
May 6th. So yeah, going strong still.
How do you, is it all permission based, not just commission? Like side of a building, does the owner of the building come to you, or is it?
For the murals, without a
Right,
doubt.
okay.
I mean, there might be a weed paste or a little stencil here and there.
Yeah.
Usually maybe on something abandoned or whatever. But yeah, commission, but also permission too. Some of them are passion projects of mine. Definitely a few other murals I hope to get to this year will be ones that I just want to do, for myself.
How do you go about getting permission for ones you want to do yourself? Like, I'm assuming, you correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I don't know what business is there that Clementi's on, but that guy was probably like, I have the biggest side of a building coming out of Pittsburgh in the entire city. I want this. But if you want to do something that you come up with, how do you get a canvas for that?
A lot of times it's site specific. So like whether it's the concept fits the space or the space kind of drives the concept. I mean, I go around the city, most days on a bicycle, whatever. And if I see something I like, I definitely wouldn't be afraid to go hit up the owner and pitch the idea and let them know and see some of my portfolio. And, more likely than not, they usually give me permission. But
Nice.
Just not too long ago, I hit up someone on Grandview. There's a little beer distributor up there. I'm like, this is a great little wall. Hit them up. They never responded to me. So it isn't always 100%. But
Grandview's the best. Yeah.
Stuff, so whatever. There's always more walls behind that.
Yeah, right. And someone's going to buy a building that, it's like you'll never run out of spaces to go.
Lots of times I update stuff too, like concepts that were, a lot of it's like kind of a scratch pad for me down in Lawrenceville, like 35th and Charlotte Butler. There's a warehouse. I've done and redone multiple walls multiple times. I cover up my own stuff a lot of the time. So some of it will be updates, also redoing spaces that have been done.
Nice. I feel like any artist will go look at something from 5 years ago. What was I thinking? I should have done it. Yeah, let me just touch it up.
And some of it's like, meme, pop culture, spur of the moment. It doesn't have the same appeal that it does even a few days later. So sometimes they even last, just a week, a few days or whatever. To me, it's, especially the stuff outside, it's meant to disappear at some point. So, I don't have any problem covering over it.
Yeah. And I saw on your website that map is a great idea. So I kept zooming out. I'm like, there has to be something somewhere like outside of Pennsylvania. And I saw the Cali.
For user's sake, I kind of kept it to the proximity of the city, like something that's, you could virtually bike all of them, and the ones I included on there. There's ones out in like Freeport.
Yeah, something in California popped up on there for sure.
I'm like LA or Cal U, you mean?
California State.
Okay, yeah. I've been to 6 states at this point. Definitely like to branch out from there.
Did you say Cal U? Did you do something at Cal U?
No, when you said Cal on the map, I
went there, so I was like, was there one this whole time and I missed it? Yeah.
Nah, no Cal U. I still haven't done my hometown in Glassport yet either. I got to get something there.
Nice.
Yeah.
What made you get a spot down in Lawrenceville? I used to live right near like 40th and Main up there on the main drag. And I didn't realize you were like right there. What's that?
Artwork-wise or why I lived there?
I saw the shop. I didn't know you even lived there. I just saw that, your shop was there. Or your gallery.
So
whatever.
35th and Butler is where I landed there in like 2012. And that's when I was still doing engineering work. I worked for Westinghouse. I was a senior test engineer and just kind of did artwork on the side. But that's where I first started doing murals, literally on the side of my house. Like, I went from like a 6 foot by 6 foot square, and I was like, this is big. And then I went 6 by 8, and then I did a few of them. And a lot of it was a result of the spray paint itself, because it's like, it's a writing implement, but it just scales everything up. So to an extent, I definitely do like large drawings for some of my pieces. And then I did the front of my house, and from there, it just kind of, went down the strip, and one led to another, and then started getting commissions. And, here 7 years later, it's like 80, 85 murals around the city. And
I was just going to ask, you have the number? Yeah, almost 100. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Do you ever have, I would think it's awesome to see it like during, like see your process.
Yeah. Time lapses, I love to
that's cool.
And a lot of times people are like, I get 50%, and they're like, oh, it's done. I'm like, sit back, relax. Like, let me go.
Oh, yeah. A lot of little stuff.
Further.
Yeah. Hey, before I forget, everyone, if you hit the little question mark in the word cloud at the bottom, you can submit questions during this whole interview, and then at the end, we'll try to ask as many polite questions that you submit. I forgot to say it in the beginning. We had some really, it's the internet. No matter who's watching, you're going to get messed up questions. And you'll see me going, oh, okay, and I start scrolling, and I'm like, oh, come on, guys, don't. Evan246, I'm not asking that. Like, don't be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd ever allow me, man, I'd love to come see the process. And I totally get if it's kind of like, just let me do my thing. But if you're ever down.
I never mind a crowd. I always, put up on my story and stuff where I'm at. Design phase right now, but I'll be doing a pretty cool novel one for myself, like a 3D anamorphic ocean scene. On the north side on Boyle Street, kind of up above like Badama's Pizza.
Yeah.
That should be a dope one. I'm doing two faces perpendicular to each other and make it look like the house kind of completely disappears with a little bit of framework.
Oh, man.
You have to see it, but I'll definitely hit you up when I'm out there.
Awesome, man. Do you use like a projector, or do you sit there and scaffold up and down, or?
Vast majority. I'll go in Photoshop. I'll threshold or posterize the image.
Right.
Kind of simplify it, then I'll project that and do ghost lines. Sometimes I'll use a doodle grid too. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, some people are like, oh, it's cheating, but it speeds up the process. I can do more murals if I can use the projector. Yeah.
If you're doing a mural, I don't call that cheating. If it's a finished product and you're up there doing it, yeah. Haters are gonna hate. Do you have a favorite piece or two of your own that you can kind of look at like, that's the one? I mean, like, instantly I go Clementi because it's what I see the most. But then I've had buddies get married or propose to his wife in front of Magneto.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and then if you Google your name, it's Savini. Like, that's the number one.
Definitely comes up quite a bit too.
Yeah, I wondered
if you
had one.
His portrait behind the trip, like, that was a passion project of mine. I just kind of wanted to do it and was able to reach out to him, connect. He was all about, and that one, especially because I was able to combine a reference he provided with me, but then I was able to go to a studio and actually take photos of him holding the mask. So that's my photography.
Right.
I was able to morph the two together, and just for the scale of it all. So I think it's about my largest and painting on multi-surfaces. And I feel like stylistically and technique-wise, that's I took it to a higher level of detail I had for previous pieces, and like kind of focus on that approach for a lot of the pieces going forward.
Nice. What did he have to say about it? Savini.
He's a huge fan, and it was awesome. I was able to just reconnect with him and do a fluffy piece from, if you guys can see, Creep Show.
Oh, nice.
Up in Bloomfield, kind of literally if you're drinking at Froggy's and you go to the back patio, it's in the alley right there. So, definitely horror. I'm a big movie guy. I love horror. And to be able to, use some of the hometown references for that, I'm all about that.
He's on my wall.
Definitely.
Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude too. Super humble, and appreciate we've been able to connect over his artwork.
That's awesome. Do you work alongside other artists much? Like, I saw one of my favorite buildings as far as like street art goes is right off the Boulevard of the Allies, where it's like you, Gondek, Whiskey. I think it's the three of them up there.
Patrick,
like the big
ghost.
Yeah.
So collaboration-wise, yeah, definitely. I've been able to collab with Gondak a few times here.
That's sweet.
So yeah, I mean, without a doubt, I always appreciate artists hitting me up and asking to collab on something.
How often does that happen, you think?
To be honest, last few years, especially, haven't been able to travel, so not as frequently as I'd like. If anyone ever hits me up, especially, it's great if you have a wall, and usually when I approach an artist, I'll try to facilitate and make it as easy as possible.
Right.
I got the materials, I got the lift, here's the wall, here's the concept, come out, let's do some paint and have some fun.
That's awesome. Time frames. Is it like, for example, I keep going back to Clementi because in my head it's like the one that I'm seeing the most. But how long did these things take on average? I know it ranges obviously with size, but those large scale ones, man, it seems like forever. But I'm sure you have like I know you're a cheater. You just told me you cheat. So I mean,
yeah. Clemente actually, once it was projected, that's only like 35, 40 hours of painting. At a
Okay.
certain scale, I can go pretty fast. That's like right in, like right in there for me. 40 to 60 hours would be average. I've spent maybe one out in Connellsville was like kind of like a really complicated train, seeing a lot more elements than I typically do. I think I did 200, 250 hours on that one. That one was a little bit more involved. A lot of elements and shading on that one. If it's one large singular portrait, that's like my bread and butter. I can just crush that.
Do you go full artist and just zone out and just go for like 12 hours straight and then realize like, oh, I didn't even eat today. I was just in the zone.
Yeah, I definitely throw on my noise canceling headphones. I mean, I love those. Definitely drowns everything out. Put some music on. Definitely listen to something all the time when I'm painting. And I'll go hard when I go out there. I definitely like to get lost in it. They kind of call it a flow state or whatever. And I feel like after a certain amount of time out there, I just kind of get in the zone and like I can really control the paint, make it do exactly what I want.
Yeah, right. Do you have favorite artists like in your genre, like street artists?
Otis, I would say he's probably my number one overall. Just he's sick. He has such range, and I love his color palette and the concepts he picks and whatever he does. I mean, there's so many good ones. Who else? BK Fox out of Brooklyn. I think she's one of the top. Photorealistic, everything freehand, which also definitely impresses me for other artists to go out there and just get freehand stuff. Too many to name, to be honest.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
I especially wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth too, so people could look up and also learn more. Because I don't know. I know your name from here. I know Gondek because a friend showed me. I mean, is it Ryan Kills, all the old skeleton motorcycle stuff? Yeah. I don't know a whole lot too, so that's another reason I wanted to.
I think Soviet is sick. Crazy Hand Style. Veals is another dude. Huge fan. Barondo, definitely all influential people I see out there and love their stuff.
Nice. Good deal. I'm going to hit you with a lightning round, so you can choose to say as little or as much as you want.
Right.
And again, everyone, keep sending questions over, too. That'll be next. Chips Ahoy or Oreos?
Oreos.
Nice. Favorite candy?
Bazooka Joe grape.
Bazooka Joe grape. Okay. How do you order your pizza?
Pepperoni or double pep, and gotta have that Pittsburgh caviar, that ranch on the side.
Pittsburgh caviar. Do you have a favorite Pittsburgh pizza place?
There's definitely a lot of good ones I like. If I had to pick hands down, 10th Warder from Pizza Lupo. I think it's the best slice in the region.
Lupo. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to check it out. I'm South Hills, so I was Fiore's forever. Then I moved to the north, and now it's Frank's. And so you said ranch, and first thing I saw, did you ever have Frank's chicken pizza?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Where, like, the ranch is just, it's like ranch paste. It's like, oh, my God. Yeah. I think my wife pitched it to me. She's from the North Hills. I'm like, no, buffalo chicken pizza is like a novelty. It's like Hawaiian or, like, whatever. And no, that thing is, I live way too close to one of them. It's terrible, and it's really great at the same time. Favorite Christmas movie?
Christmas Story.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Did you go to the house?
Actually, I did visit it maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
I think we're trying to this winter actually for the first time. It's
definitely worth it. Go out. They have some cool behind the scenes stuff and some other stuff you've never seen, movie props.
See, this whole office is full of movie stuff. Props, posters, autographs, stuff like that. And it being so close to me never going, I'm like, I'm really dropping the ball.
Yeah,
and I love Christmas too. Yeah, so Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Nice. Your favorite character at all?
Yoda.
Nice. Oh yeah, I saw you did a Yoda too, right?
I did do a Yoda. Yeah, that was just a mess around, like a 90-minute piece forever ago.
Nice. What's the first movie you remember seeing in a theater?
Jurassic Park.
Me too. That's
nice.
Funny.
Yeah.
I told that story a couple of times with that question. Being, I don't know, what was I, 10 or 12? And
yeah, like 92-ish.
Yeah, and getting out of there, and it was raining at nighttime. And of course, my dad pulled a movie. He's like, I think there's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm like, well, let's get out. So we're just like running, screaming, and it's wonderful. I actually drive a Jurassic Park wrapped Jeep, just because I love it so much. Do you have a favorite piece of memorabilia? This is usually for like a movie freak like myself, but do you have collections, collectibles, memorabilia, anything like that?
Antique scientific books would be something that I'd collect.
That's cool.
One on forensic pathology would probably be my favorite. That kind of backed up to when I was a forensic engineer. In terms of like movie memorabilia, I did get a pretty cool souvenir when I did the Fluffy. I got 8.5 by 11 old school photograph close up of Fluffy's eyes, which I ended up using for the collar signed by Savini. So I got to get that framed, hang that up in the studio.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is something you're very proud of?
I mean, artwork wise or just in general?
Whatever you want. Yeah, either way.
I mean, I guess at this point to kind of say, you know, looking back a little bit, going on 7 years now, I had no projects really lined up when I walked away from my job and able to consistently be able to create pieces, get commissions and stuff. So definitely looking back over the career 7 years and being able to create the number of pieces I have here in Pittsburgh, definitely proud of that for sure.
Cool. Hell yeah. And here, you'll love this question. It's usually for people who are not from here, but I'd like to hear your answer. If I say Pittsburgh, what do you think of?
Steel mill.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Glassport. I got the Clarendon Works and Urban Works right there. My grandpap was a 40-plus year mechanic there, so definitely in my blood.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of people say Steelers.
Yeah.
I'm like, that compares. I'm going to check some questions here. All right, here we go. Josh is trying to redeem himself for the Buzz Killington moment earlier. Do you see engineering playing a part in your designs, or do you wish you had focused on art with your degree?
No, I don't have any regrets in terms of what I focused on. I do like to do engineers and inventors occasionally, so definitely content-wise that does creep its way in. And I just feel like kind of like my R&D background, always being a lab rat, just having to figure out stuff on the go. Like you pretty much have to do that for all projects. So like problem solving definitely I feel like comes in helpful. And just being able to oversee large projects with multiple components. I mean, their productions do the pieces, and very frequently I pretty much do them all by myself. So it's kind of, you know, a large task and just know I got to do a little bit each day and kind of keep chipping away at it and see it unfold as it comes along.
Along those lines, do you often need helpers? Like, do you have like a team?
You know, I had an assistant. She was great for a few years. For the most part, I'm kind of picky, and it's just like I just do it myself.
Just go in and do it. Yep.
Rarely, you know, I consider getting an assistant again. It definitely helps my productivity, but with the workflow that it is, kind of ebbs and flows at times. I don't really need someone. So
yeah.
All in all, it does get old trucking, you know, carrying all the paint around. That's about it.
Right.
Though. So
you need a grind.
A little bit of help, maybe priming the wall, but other than that,
yeah.
It's like I kind of do everything.
You got to get some Art Institute intern to carry all your shit around for you. Someone else asked what happened to your beard.
Yeah, it was time. You know, going back to the engineering work, one of the jobs I had, I always had to be clean shaven for it. The last 2.5 years I was in California. Sometimes I worked with dangerous gases, and we might have to put like a self-contained breathing apparatus on so it had a tight seal. So when I moved back to Pittsburgh, I grew it out, and then just maybe 2-3 months ago, I figured I'd shave it off and leave it off for a bit now. So
drastic change. I think I saw a couple pictures. It was full-on woodsman. If it
was pretty big, yeah.
Let's see. Do you have favorite brands that you use?
Yeah,
I'm guessing paint brands.
Absolutely. MTN 94 is probably overall. I just like the matte colors, but you can see a little bit in the background there. I use MTN 94, Montana Gold, and Montana Black. So between those three lines, even though they have different finishes, all the color mixes are slightly different. So you can have about 800 to 900 different tones between those. So especially when I do like more realistic pieces, you need to use a lot of different colors. So
right.
Those three and a little bit of Molotov. That's pretty much all I've experimented with and kind of focus on those. And that's also what's typically available in the city here too. So it's easy to get it.
Okay. Another question was something similar, asking how you come about buying all of it. I'm guessing they mean like, are you just buying cases, wholesale, walking in and asking for something?
A little bit of everything. I mean, sometimes I'll buy hundreds of cans at once. Sometimes it's a single can. Sometimes it's a chunk. I mean, over the years, I buy a lot more paint than I typically need, but it's good because the color charts kind of give you help, but until you actually spray and see them next to each other, it's hard to know exactly what paints you're going to use. Like I don't typically use the same palette over and over. At times, You know, sometimes I definitely like a lavender palette. I did that early on. I haven't really messed with that recently, but you need to have a lot of colors of paint to play with. And the stores in town are pretty solid, but occasionally I'll order from Blick Arts too, and
Oh yeah.
Spray Planet,
Hmm.
and Bombing Science. That's pretty much where I get all the paint from.
You say there was stores here you can go to and get your
Yeah,
stuff?
so you can go to Blick Arts on Walnut and Shady Sides. They have a great selection. They're the only ones here that they recently started carrying 94. They also started carrying Hardcore. That's an MTN brand as well. And then Artisan Craftsman over in Squirrel Hill is great. Surprisingly, Michael's does carry a few random cans of like Montana Gold, but the first two stores I mentioned are definitely your go-tos. You'd see several hundred different colors to choose from.
Was that Blick the one that used to be in Southside? It used
So
to be a
yeah, the one
huge
in
one.
Southside moved, and it's been in Shady Side
Okay.
for 4-ish, 5-ish years now. Yep.
We all thought it was gone, so I didn't know they actually moved. I thought they had to cease operation. So
No, just
good,
it's
good to hear.
on Walnut and Shady Side. Yep.
Awesome. Well, that's it, man. Do you have anything you want to say to everyone who's been watching?
No, that's it. You know, I've really appreciate everyone out there. Appreciate the appreciation. I appreciate the critiques. You know, I definitely fuels my fire when people critique pieces too. So, you know, definitely got a lot of life left, a lot of paint to spray, and hope to get to 100 here and spread out from the city as well. So definitely see a few new pieces this year, and appreciate you having me on, man.
Absolutely. I'll follow you closely here. I'm curious to see the next one for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks a lot, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
We'll see you.